give a little bit more time for people to come in. Say hello to everybody in here. Hello, Haman, Deborah, Fred, Patricia, Lisa, Bobby, Mom. How you guys doing today? I'm going to release that song on Sunday now because there was there was a lot of news, and we really haven't been doing a lot of news updates on here. So I won't be releasing the song till Sunday, but there's just a lot to really talk about. So give a little more time for some more people. Hello, Jeremy. How you doing? Hello. Hello, Sean. How you doing? I just had to push the song back to do this. I was decided to check the news, and I was like, man, there is a lot going on. There's so much going on. It's unbelievable. Good. Doing well. Awesome. Glad to hear everybody's doing well. So there's many things I want to talk over today, this afternoon. Hello, Mark. So don't forget to hit the like button. I want to talk about a bill that was getting ready to pass, the HR 8421. Also, the bird flu is spreading to New York as they're telling humans to stay alert of the new H5N1 pandemic warning. Also, the world's oceans have gone haywire, and they're saying that the coral reefs are in peril. Talk about these Texas storms, also the storms that hit Italy, and also Nicaragua's huge volcanic eruption that they had. Australia passed the digital ID into the parliament today. And also, another thing we had talked about before too, next week is the big week with the World Health Organization. And I want to talk about some of the bills that have been passed in the United States that are going to back up with this World Health Organization bill that they're getting ready to take ownership of a lot of things. So all part of the end times. Exactly. So let's go ahead and share up on the screen. All righty. So this Thomas guy has introduced a bill to audit and abolish the Federal Reserves. This potentially could lead us to the digital currency that we have been talking about. This HR 8421, the Federal Reserve Board Abolish Act. It abolishes the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve and its banks. We know that the banks have been in a lot of trouble lately. Banks have been in a lot of trouble. So he is introducing the move, said that Americans would be better off without the Fed, and blamed it for the rapid inflation and the devaluing of the dollar. Now, this is the speculation because we know that the digital currency is moving throughout the whole world, that we know that we've been waiting here in America for when it's going to take place. I guess hitting X on that made me just go over to that. I thought that would just cancel out whatever that is. I guess it did. But of course, during this in 2020, the Federal Reserve created trillions of dollars out of thin air and loaned it to the Treasury Department. A lot of people were getting a lot of money. So the only thing that I'm going to say about this is time will tell. I know that we're in a lot of issue with banks. I do think that the digital currency is something that is going to be mainstream throughout the whole world. So there's not really anything on the congress.gov about this right now because it's just been introduced. So we can see some potential things as the banks are continuing to fail, what we might see. I know that digital, with many videos we've done on this, digital is eventually going to be something that is worldwide. And exactly like Mark's saying, I say no to digital. They've been working on this for quite some time. So as the bird flu spreads to New York, as humans told to stay alert after the new H5N1 pandemic warning, guys, the only reason why I don't want people to think I'm playing into this, the only reason why I'm coming into this is I've been saying for a year and a half on this channel that the World Health Organization, their meeting they're having next week, we're giving them control with future pandemics. And if you see what the WHO has done in other countries that have had that control released over to them, this is going to be bad news. Why? We already know that they don't want you to eat meat. We already know that they don't want you to even see the sunlight. They want to black out the sun too. So I don't really trust anything these elite people say. Really, I don't put my trust in any of these princes at all, any of these governors, any of these presidents. I put my trust in the Lord. We have a lot of big things that are taking place. New York is a very huge city. So you already know that the way the governors are over there, they're probably really going to implement a lot of things. They're already having fears for the virus could spark the next pandemic. This just seems to be like the newest thing, the pandemics. So, oh, got you a new account there. Good to see you, sister. Good to see you. YouTube's been very weird lately, that's for sure. So, the volunteers in the Community Science Project, the New York City Virus Hunters, I don't even know this was a program. This sounds like they've collected 1,927 bird feces samples from 2022 to 2023 in urban parks. So this has really been planned for a while. The avian bird flu, including red-tailed hawks, they have 3 Canadian geese that they've tested positive. We see that the falcon and the chicken, they said that these have all tested positive in New York. So before I go to anything else over there, we're going to go over here to this because we're 1 week away. We're 1 week away from the Trojan Horse Project, the One Health. We've been talking about this for a total of a year and a half on this channel. We're 1 week away. Like I said, look what happened to other countries that they gave WHO the permission. So the One Health agenda is designed to balance the health of people, animals, and plants. Pretty funny, especially since bird flu is becoming very big as of late. So the One Health is adopting the One Health approach will affect multiple aspects of everyday life, from agriculture and farming to livestock and food production and environmental issues. The One Health agenda is designed to globally declare possible pandemic type risk, which will naturally lead to forced lockdowns and restrictions placed upon private sector. Very, very, very key word, lockdowns. We're talking the 27th, they are having this meeting. And I will get in deeper to this, that a bill that we have already signed to give them the right to do this, giving all control to the WHO in American population. They've already done this in other countries. So the solution will be more mass V word and the safety for general public, more types of surveillance on private citizens. If we're already not monitored enough by people, we're already monitored a lot. That's why I'm saying, guys, that's the only reason why I'm playing into the bird flu thing here, is because they are going to use it against us with this Trojan Horse Project they're doing. The WHO's getting ready to have complete ownership of anything. Look, the WHO pandemic agreement, the most recently updated version of the WHO pandemic agreement, last minute on April 22nd, is designed to redistribute wealth and protective equipment away from the U.S. and establish a global governing board with little accountability to U.S. citizens. The WHO has made it clear that it intends to involve itself far beyond the aspects of possible pandemic outbreaks. The latest agreement calls for the WHO to be hands-on with such items as climate change, poverty, and hunger. Of course, talking about climate change. So, you may need to back out and come back in. Yeah, we've already signed it over. I'm going to show that bill here in a second. Some will say this is all about money, pharmacies, hospitals, and those who gain financially. However, according to the Wall Street Journal article from April of 2021, 40 new billionaires were created and over 200,000 small businesses were destroyed in the US alone in 2020. The last pandemic was not about wealth, it was about wealth transfer. I totally agree with this article on it. It was about wealth transfer. As you see, many mom and pop shops have closed. They're destroyed, they're gone. Restaurant industries are destroyed and gone. What Americans used to, not just Americans, other countries, what they were used to with restaurants is no longer the same. And if any of them are open, they are very horrible, horrible service anymore. Ain't even worth going. Let alone, I think there's this chicken place around the corner from us. You get 100 chicken wings for like $160. That's ridiculous. That's a lot of money. That's like, who has that type of money to buy that much? Like if you were throwing a party, like you're not spending $160 on 100 chicken wings. That's like what, like $3 a chicken wing almost. It's about $1.75 something maybe per chicken wing. That's a lot. So they're also going to be supporting the abortion, which we know Roe v. Wade has been a very, very huge, huge thing that has been the talks in America for the past few years. So the WHO pandemic agreement, as it is written, would authorize funding and support for abortion. No longer will this be in control of the American people, and it would be in control of the WHO. So abortions will increase once again. Disease X, I know we haven't heard much about it as of late, but we do know from many videos I've shared on the Rumble as well that this is still something that the elites are talking about on a daily basis. They are having meetings every day about Disease X. The story to the race to V word Britain, which was released in March of 2023, paint the picture of the hypothetical disease such as Disease X, which could become the next pandemic. Very well possible this could be the Disease X. It really seems that this is spreading at a very, very rapid rate. Very rapid rate. Very, very rapid rate. So this Disease X, so the World Health Assembly, what is the timing of all this? The 9th set of meetings to revise and finalize the WHO pandemic agreement will take place on April 29th to May 10th of 2024. 2 weeks later, May 27th to June 1st in Geneva, Switzerland, the 77th World Health Assembly will meet to finalize these agreements. This will dictate how the United States and the world responds to the future pandemics that are coming. So right here, HR 79, here is the bill. Here is the bill to direct the president to withdraw the United States from the Constitution of the World Health Organization for other purposes. So, this act may be cited as the WHO Withdrawal Act, but it's not really what you think. We're withdrawing our democracy as a country to give it over to the WHO. The withdrawal of the United States from the Constitution of the World Health Organization is about a use of funds. So, as we see this getting ready to take place, our government is not going to have any type of control with what these people want to do. The people in the WHO are definitely very wicked. On February 5th of 2024, Congressman Chris Smith from New Jersey held a news conference on Capitol Hill. Smith, who serves as a senior member of the House Committee on Foreign Affairs, has been vocal about the World Health Organization pandemic treaty. He has raised concerns about the lack of transparency in the treaty process. So, the 39-minute news conference can be found on YouTube, posted 2 weeks ago, and it only has 39 views. You talk about censorship, man, that's a massive censorship there. Only 39 views to talk. This guy spilling out on Capitol Hill about what's going on with this act, and it only has 39 views. I guarantee they got probably 200,000 subscribers probably, and only 39 views. That doesn't shock me at all. So we know what their agenda is. So a treaty, an agreement, or a framework. It is pointed out that the WHO refuses to call this a treaty a treaty. They are calling it an agreement or a framework. If it is called a treaty, it would have been submitted to the treaty process in the United States, which could delay or even derail this agreement. The Congressman Smith says this is on a fast track. Much of this has been done without very much scrutiny or insight. However, we do know from the draft of this pandemic treaty that it will be binding. I said that in a video not too long ago. This is a very binding agreement. Article 6, Smith confirmed it is evident in Article 6 of this agreement that it promotes abortion on demand. So let's kill kids on demand and make God mad at this country and world even more. He said that the World Health Organization Secretary General has entered into agreements with several pro-abortion groups, including Planned Parenthood, or we can just call them Planned Destruction. We need some Elijahs to tear down these temples of Moloch and Baal today. A group out of the European Union and a Center of Reproductive Rights. He said there are no gestational limits on abortion right up until the moment of birth. We've been talking about this for about 2 years on the channel. This takes place. It can be the moment the baby comes out. They can go ahead. I mean, this is disgusting. It is disgusting. And anybody that supports it and claims to be a Christian, you are not a Christian. You are actually an antichrist if you support killing. You don't have the love of Christ in you. So the future Antichrist system, as we see, needs global worship of the beast, as Revelation 13:15 says, in Revelation 13:7, that every tribe, people, and language and nation will give authority to this leader. This pandemic treaty could be one of these things that really spark the continuing of the end times that we are in. So when it comes down to the humans, animals, and plants, of course, we go back to the spreading of the bird flu. And we go to everything that, of course, people like Bill Gates said. They want you to eat crickets. So the WHO still plans to use the One Health as a vehicle to control humans, plants, and animals, all in the name of environmental health. I also got many videos on here to talk about the Green Treaty Act, the 10 Commandments of the Green Laws, to try to take a Sunday Sabbath, that no driving of cars and all this. I have many videos that show like articles from all this UN Security Council stuff talking about these things on the End Times playlist. So all you need to do is look at nations like Nigeria. Nigeria held its National One Health Steering Committee meeting that led to the country's president signing the One Health approach into law, designed to balance the health of people, animals, and plants. Also, take a look at any of the world leaders that have been assassinated or attempted assassinations as of late. What do they stand against? They don't want people to stand against these things, guys. So the CDC, not really much we need to talk about with them. We know what the CDC does, but we're going to read the final line here. If this treaty receives the majority vote needed to pass, the way it stands now, there will be a 10-month deadline for member states to reject the amendments, and that would come out in May of 2025, and life would be much different by then. Oh, that comment was okay from Paul. Yeah, it could be that they're wanting to worship Mother Earth, Gaia. They're possibly. I think a lot of these people already worship the earth more than, well, look at Romans 1, first of all. So I'm going to go ahead and close out the HR 79 Act. So before we go any further with some of the things, we're going to talk about the world's oceans have gone crazy haywire. Officials warn with majority of the coral reefs in peril. It's okay. Accidents happen too. So the world's oceans have gone crazy haywire. Also, don't mind my mods too. The last night's stream, ended it with over 1,000 views, and all the trolls that came in was like, bam, they had to every 3 minutes block somebody. It was like every 3 minutes, guys. So according to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration official, the record high temperatures are putting the coral reefs in danger. Of course, we're not going to go in the act of talking about what the world talks about with all this. It's not global warming. It's called prophecy. The elements of this world will melt away. Elements are many things. You can look at a periodic table. Of course, that's going into science, but everything on that periodic table is actually a science of God. God created all these things that's on the periodic table. These elements will melt away with a fever and heat. And we do see that the record high temperatures are increasing throughout the world. Yeah, they did a very good job last night in the live. That was probably the most people we've ever had come in mocking and scoffing. Well, one person asked if I was a guy. Couldn't tell by the beard, but I couldn't tell by the voice either, Bearded Lady Project. So the agency updated bleaching alert system introduced in December categorized heat stress on the scale of a severity 1 to 5. For an alert level 5, we are estimating approximately 80% or more of the coral reefs may die. That's a lot. That's a lot, guys. That's a whole lot. It's I have countless videos on this channel where we have had millions upon billions of fish wash up dead in the past 4 years. Biblical prophecy. For the past 4 years, videos to show all the hectares of the world that has burnt in a fervent heat. It's time to wake up and smell the roses and realize we are in the end times. And it's time to have your life right with God. We all fall short of the glory, but that has been an excuse for the church for such a long time, guys. So as these storms continue, there's 4 killed and 2.2 million without power as severe storms hit Houston, Texas. This was a very, very huge storm, guys. Very huge storm that hit. You can see this storm system just rampaged right through. This is all the stuff blown out from the storm, guys. Crazy. I can't let you know. Sometimes they let me play the Twitter links and sometimes they don't. Since I don't have a Twitter account no more, full screening it would try to make me log in, and I don't have a Twitter account anymore. But man, guys, these storms lately. These storms lately are they're not normal. It cracked all these windows. Like boom, boom, boom. Look at all those windows. Man. If we ain't had enough signs of the times that Jesus is coming soon, I tell you, guys. I tell you. So not just that, northern Italy, it had the heaviest rainfall in the past 170 years. As you can see, trains derailed from the storm, poles down on the ground. We have 170 people without electricity. People say that may not be much, but you got to think some of the parts of Italy are very not as rural areas like a city. And my light is flickering like really crazy right now. I had to look behind me to Is my window open? Is like the sun going through the trees? No, it's just my lights flickering really bad. um, I mean, this is just more storms. It says more than 1,000 interventions were performed throughout Lombardy in 2 days. A 66-year-old man is missing and feared dead after falling into the river. That's crazy, guys. The damage that is being done worldwide. So, this eruption at Nicaragua's volcano put 18,000 feet high of volcanic ash and blanketed the nearby areas. It's completely blanketed. Um, Volcanic eruptions have been really bad lately too.
Está erutando el volcán, tirando ceniza como loco.
Man, oh man, guys. This continues. Yeah, be prayed up. That's the biggest thing we can do is pray. That's why once a month we're doing things continue. We may need to do war hour twice a month, but right now we're going to still keep it once a month. I mean, we definitely have got to be armored up in these days. Yeah, that's a lot of ash that blanketed this area. So this is one of the things I want to talk about. The digital ID law finally passed in the Australian Parliament. I put a video of it up on our Telegram. Um, if I can get Telegram shared, I'm gonna send it to one of my mods to share this Telegram link to my main group. There's a video. There's a video of it fast forwards through some parts because they don't want you to go through all the lingo that they're going, but it's 4 minutes where they had passed this digital ID. So we're really seeing a lot of this digital currency, this digital ID. There was people in UK about half a year ago were getting ready to get their eyes ready to be scanned. You got the Neuralink, all these things that are happening, guys. It's just all pointing towards one thing: the one world government that is all going to be controlled by the WEF, the WHO, the CDC, all these people. So scroll back to the beginning, we see a new bill that's being introduced into that could bring digital currency here to America in the long run, maybe not right off the bat, but in the long run. The bird flu is continuing to spread, which of course is going to fall in lines with what this meeting next week when all rights are given over to the WHO. So, yeah, the UN. Oh, handwriting is definitely on the wall. It definitely is. It definitely is. It's normal reality. It's impossible for bird cells to cross contaminate with mammal cells. Impossible without man. Yeah, man's made bird flu. I mean, we already see through that. They're playing God at a way of creating their own suns, creating their own viruses, and it's going to get out of control. They're eventually going to create something they cannot contain. And we could be looking at it with bird flu. It could potentially become something. I mean, you have to look at what they're saying about cows and all that. They want to get rid of them. This just really, really falls into place with them wanting to get rid of livestock. Much love, Amy. Much love. Yeah, we were at day 36 of the Psalm reading. Now remember, tomorrow, because I go live for church, we do the Psalm reading later in the day because it's hard for me to get prepped to preach. And then of course any day that I go street preaching, it will be a little later too, because there's a lot of prep with street preaching. We have two big street preaching events coming up here very soon. Hello. Shalom. Shalom. Yeah, Russia's doing a missile test off the West Coast as well too. not very far, I think 10 miles away from Oakland. So there is a lot going on, guys. Eating is overrated. Isn't that so funny? They want it to be overrated. They want us to eat crickets and I guess you just breathe in the air and that fills you up. You just breathe in the air and yeah, it's just most likely a peaceful missile testing. I mean, it's just peaceful. Oh, you don't have to worry about I have the all caps on my computer. So if I'm typing from the phone, it won't be in all caps. But if I'm on my computer, it's in all caps. And that way I could read it from my computer. I have a hard time reading stuff even with glasses on. So I like all caps. You don't have to apologize with me. I like when people get loud for the Lord anyways. I don't take it as you're yelling at me. I mean, we got to get loud for the Lord. We gotta increase our voice. Yeah. Yeah, Jenny, that was something I shared in the beginning from Thomas, the HR 8421 bill. Um, yeah, that's like Fred said. I didn't think about that either. So it's great humor going on in the great humor going on in the yeah. If anybody came in late, go back to the beginning. There was a lot of key news in the beginning as we get ready to end this. There was a lot of key news in the beginning. That goes on with a lot of things, and it all links up with this World Health Organization meeting that is going to be taking place May 27th to June 1st. There's going to be a lot of things going on, and Australia recently just getting into the digital ID bill passed. These storms are increasing, guys. We're seeing the end times. We're seeing the end times. So, keep your heads up. We fight from victory, not from defeat. And that's thanks to the blood of Jesus Christ. And there's a lot of things in the beginning. Thank you all for going back to the beginning after we end this. Yeah, definitely go back to the beginning. A lot of key things to talk about and to pray and to get ready. So tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, we'll be preaching the Red Letter series. This one's about danger of hellfire. We're at the red letter parts of Christ where he talks about hell nonstop. I mean, it's going to be the next few weeks. It's talking about hell. Christ spoke about hell a lot. It's a very scary place. And it's something we need to remind ourselves how scary it is. So, and then later on in the afternoon, we'll do, tomorrow will be Psalm 37, 87, and 137. So much love to you all. May God bless you all. Hit that like button. Scroll back to the beginning if you missed some of it. And much love.